Welcome to the Crossroads Chronicles, a series where we bring in guest game masters to run a TTRPG of their choice. Our goal is to run as many different systems and show off as many different game masters as we can before repeating any of them. Thank you for joining us for Season 1, Volume 3, and I am super excited to introduce our wonderful game master, the outsider, Kevin. Please introduce yourself, tell us what we're playing, and if you have a title, I suppose. If you have a title for the adventure that we're playing today. If not, that's
I
fine.
see. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, I am Kevin, and I will be the game master this evening. I am running a very special game that I enjoy called It Wants Souls. It is a micro game that I originally found in the Ultimate Micro RPG book that was compiled by James D'Amato. And this is run by a friend of mine, Quinn Murphy, really cool guy. This story is basically a kind of creepy story where typically a family moves into a new home and terror ensues. It's inspired by things such as The Conjuring and Sinister and Amityville Horror. We're going to do a little bit of a change tonight, though, to make it a little more fun. But yeah, I can be found online at the socials at KevRan Games. And when I'm not here on this great show, I also run a podcast, The Game Night Heroes, where we play actual play stuff in an audio narrative form. And somebody, wherever she's at on my screen, Kerri, may or may not have been on that and our Deadlands game, which was a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited to tell this tale, which currently does not have a title. We will see what title you all give it as we play.
Oh, hi, friends. I'm Allegra. My pronouns are they, them. And today I am playing Josefina or Fiend Rivera, she, they pronouns. And they're a stoner.
Hey, everybody. I'm Matt. Today I'm playing as Cam Ybarra, and he is essentially a metal sculpting artist genius, but otherwise a mess in every other aspect of his life.
Hi, I'm Chrissy. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Quinn Evans, the drama diva, who also uses she, her.
Hello, my name is Julian, or Julie CL, on social media, and today I will be playing Gabe Cifuentes, your local film bro. Favorite movie is probably, you probably never heard of it. It's The Thing, either that or Us by Jordan Peele. Very niche, I know.
And I am Kerri Smith. I am playing Natalie tonight, this sort of jock character, and we both use she, her pronouns. And without further ado, let us tell you a scary story. Take it away, Kevin.
The following transpires on October 28th. In a small, remote section of the woods in up northern Michigan, we have a cabin that sits alone, not without any sort of peers around. As the sun begins to dip over the western horizon, a single vehicle pulls up to said cabin, and 5 individuals disembark. As each of the 3 of you come out of this car, let's just take a moment to say, what is the very first thing that you notice about this cabin and surrounding areas? Defining characteristic that you immediately notice is not quite right with you.
I think I notice the shutters kind of hanging off a couple of the windows that are like a little bit ivy covered and a little bit like, that algae moss that grows on trees. They're looking a little grimy on some standards, but by Fiend standards, they're pretty cool. And they kind of wander over and start kind of inspecting the half hanging shutters.
Beautiful. And what exactly do we see when Fiend approaches the shutters? What does Fiend look like? Tell us a little bit about her.
Fiend is kind of like mid-height, pretty average, just in size as a human being. She's got long black hair that has streaks of like pink and purple and blue and green. It's just kind of like an amalgam of like, this is under my sink, I'm gonna use this. She's wearing some bright, or not bright green, dull green overalls with a bunch of pockets on them, all of which have something in them at all times. She's wearing docks, and she has a joint behind her ear. And she kind of like wanders as she walks. She's not a straight line kind of person. She definitely is a wanderer.
Perfect. And as she makes her approach, there is another figure who comes up next to her. And tell us a little bit, Julian, about Gabe. What does Gabe notice about this place first?
Yeah, I think Gabe's first thought is, I mean, with all the holes in where the windows are supposed to be, it'd be really impractical to shoot a film here. There'd just be way too much natural light getting in when you're trying to get the scary shots. But, you know, Gabe always just has that eye for the type of thing. He's always thinking about that. He stands at about 5'8", 5'9", pretty short. Relatively broad, though, because, you know, you got to have a certain amount of shoulder stamina if you're going to operate a boom. His hair is like peroxide blonde, gelled back kind of awkwardly, and his outfit is all over the place. It's like green shirt and jean jacket, fine, but then he's got like some orange, brown, khaki pants. You're not sure if he's trying to emulate 70s fashion or if he just doesn't know how to complement colors. He has also kind of got this permanent little, like his lip is always like a little bit raised on this side when he talks. So he probably like walks up to Fiend a little bit. He's got his hands in his pockets and he's like, Jesus, we're going to have one hell of a time at this place.
Yeah, but it's cool. It kind of feels like another world, sort of. You want one? If you hold out like a little snack towards you.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Excellent. As the two of them share a snack, a third figure approaches. Kerri, tell us a little bit about what does Nat notice when she walks up to the cabin?
I think Natalie is helping pull out a couple of Quinn's extra bags, and I think is like kind of like shoving one over her shoulder, kind of looking up. Her eyes float up to the very top, like the attic window that is boarded shut from the inside, and just kind of looking at that for a moment, chalks it up to, you know, maybe the window broke and it just got boarded up. Glances back down to see the other two talking. Natalie has kind of a shoulder-length brown hair. It's kind of like wavy in places. And she's fairly tall, very strong legs, and very adamant about always having on her running shoes. She has probably a like leather jacket of some sort, but just has a very sporty look to her. Freckles kind of covering her over her nose. And she's just kind of looking up at this house.
Absolutely. And as you take a moment, you hear the two remaining individuals in your car approach together. Take a moment, Chrissy. Tell us, what exactly does Quinn see when she first notices the cabin and the surrounding area? What stands out to her the most?
Well, the first thing she notices how much dirt is around, for one. But for the purposes of your question, it's unsettling how dark it is here. I mean, the forest itself was kind of shady, but this just seems a little extra dark, especially since, like, clearly the trees have been cut back so to make room. So just it doesn't quite strike right that the shadows hit so deeply here. And Quinn is very much a princess. A lot of pinks in her outfit. Not necessarily tight clothes, but fitted. Except for she's got kind of like a baggy overshirt over a fitted tank top, and she's wearing pearls, and she's just very much out of place in a very dirty cabin, and just kind of snarls her little nose, her red hair falling over her shoulder, big blue eyes looking up at everything. Nat, did you say that this place didn't have electricity?
Answering her question next to her is the final member of our party. Matthew, tell us, what exactly does Cam say and what does he notice as he's answering?
As Cam is following up the rear, he sort of steps in beside Quinn on her left. He's not really. he kind of accepts that that's the exact situation that they're in, and it's kind of like, yeah, well, we don't really need it. Electricity, we're in the woods. We'll make do. And he's looking over to the side on the left of the cabin for a rusted out sheet metal lean-to, and being as Cam, this kind of like not necessarily hulking, but he's 6'2", large gnarled hands. He's carrying all of the rest of the other bags, just kind of puts them down, and his real interest right now, even though he understands the potential danger of everything, is he's a bit of a pack rat. And if he can find something that is metal, he wants it, and he wants to leave with it because he can turn a fork into a flower. So it's like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Very cool. Very cool. Absolutely. And the five of you come up to the front entryway of the cabin together, just as that dark is beginning to fully take over these trees around you. The enveloping night is coming, and there is a little bit of a slight fog that creeps in along the ground. It is late October, so it is chilly, but you all have come out here to the cabin to have a little bit of a getaway. Specifically, let's take a moment to have all of you, while I, as the outsider, will make some notes about this interaction here. Let's have you all play.
Yeah, Cam won't hesitate.
Catch up with Cam, be like, yo, you think there's a fireplace in here?
I hope so. It might, I don't know if it's going to be cold in here or what, but I mean, we got lots of wood outside, I saw.
Cool. I want to make a fire.
I want to see what kind of tools they got next to it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Cam, you're not bringing that metal home in the car. I am not driving home smelling like an auto factory.
I brought bags. I knew you were going to say that. I brought bags.
Did you bring air fresheners?
What's the matter,
Exactly.
Princess? You afraid of a few cobwebs?
A few, and starts kind of looking around to the corners that are like covered. Yeah, a few cobwebs.
They're just friends. They're just our spider friends, Nat.
You say that until they bite you.
Wait, there's bugs here?
Quinny, my love.
Science
Quinny,
says there's
my
always
love.
20 fighters and 20 spiders, within a few feet of you. So yeah, probably.
Ew. Ew. None of you warned me about this. Not a single one of you. You just said that we were going to get away for the weekend. You said it would be nice. This is not nice. No electricity is not nice.
Quinn, hun, we're in the woods. I don't want to say that maybe you should have. You know, it's going to be okay. I'm sure all the spiders are going to stay up in their little spider homes. There are millions of little spider homes.
They don't want to hurt anyone. They just want to, live, dude. We're coming into their home. As long as we're respectful, they'll be respectful.
See, spiders are nicer than people.
Yeah.
Which one of you brought booze?
I
Which one
wrapped
of you did
this.
bring booze?
I got some stuff. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we probably have a couple coolers in the vehicle to haul in.
It's all PBR for Gabe.
Nice. Nothing but the best, right?
Absolutely.
And yes, and as you start to collect up your gear, your coolers, your clothes, and different sort of things you would need for the night, you all do fully come into the cabin proper. And what you find is it is basically a large living space. There are 2 couches in here and a chair. They are covered with an old sheet of some sort. It's very dusty. It's very uninviting. Lots of cobwebs, you notice, Quinn, when you come in. And you see that there is, in fact, a fireplace in the room. It's currently not lit. There is some wood within it, but it does look like it's old and probably has lots of cobwebs in there, too. Now, we're not talking cobwebs in terms of you can't exist in here. It's just a matter of it's old and needs a little bit of TLC to get it spruced up for your activities tonight. So you get in, you start setting up everything, and you start going about trying to get things where you want them to be. You do notice that there is 2 rooms in the cabin, and one of them has a large bed, like we'll say queen size bed. The other one has 2 smaller beds that probably would be children's size beds, but you could sleep in them in a pinch if you had to. So there seems to be enough space for everybody to crash out for the night if you all stay here that long. So how do you guys go about this? What is the first point of business? What exactly do you guys want to do first to get this ready?
I'll ask if Cam has anything lying around that he can help dust the cobwebs with. Any rods, anything we're basically not going to be sleeping on.
Cam just puts his arm up over his face and then lifts his other arm and just starts waving into the cobwebs that are nearby.
And better hope we have running water.
No. Just brush it off.
That's gross.
Not ideal.
Fiend is following behind Cam and apologizing to the spiders.
Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely.
He starts dusting himself off and plucking at it almost like a sunburn. Like blistered skin.
As soon as his attention's turned away, Fiend is going to take their fingernails and just run them up the back of his neck.
Ugh.
What? What's wrong?
Ugh. He just turns around.
Is there a
He
spider
kind
on
of
you?
like that. I guarantee it. And he's gonna try to embrace you for a hug.
Fiend takes it. Fiend's like, bring it in, dude.
Listen, Cam and I were sophomore year roommates, and I'm just saying, you don't want to see what that guy's shelf in the fridge looked like. He is unfazed by this type of thing.
We're all one. Like, we're all cut from the same cloth, dude. Like, you're made of stardust. I'm made of stardust. Nat's made of stardust.
All
Chrissy
right.
is stardust.
Lay off the
Quinn
ganja.
is stardust. I had a Freudian
Chrissy too.
slip too, honestly.
It's the hair.
I think you hear like the sound of a sheet and dust as Natalie just like rips a sheet off of one of like the couches and everything, and it's like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you rip off that sheet, suddenly you all notice in unison a large slam as the front door of the cabin that you all left open closes on its own accord. It's very forceful. It definitely sounds like someone kicked it shut.
Windy day today, huh?
Yeah, it's windy outside.
That's weird.
This place on a slant or something? I'm just trying to get his balance.
Well, I mean, Gabe
It's just-
said the windows had holes in them. I'm sure it was just like a really strong breeze. It's
just
fine,
an
right?
old.
Absolutely.
It's an old cabin.
I mean,
Sure.
and listen, technically speaking, the whole world is on a slant. So, we should just expect these things to happen.
I agree.
Thank you, Gabe.
That's
Gotcha.
a great point. And so, yeah, you guys all finish setting up and you start pulling out the booze and start getting the party ready to go in good form. So let us take a moment and let's have all of you roll a d6 for me. Now that you have all properly arrived and you have made your presence known to a sinister force known as the Outsider that actually already has residence here within this home, unbeknownst to the 5 of you who are walking into its territory uninvited, we now will go through and tell specific scenes where each of you will narratively begin the scene, and we will have the Outsider at an appropriate time start to make its presence a little bit more known. So Cam, since you rolled a 6, I'm going to have you roll another d6 to determine how much later after the arrival this first scene will take place.
Sure. I got a 5.
A 5. Okay, so it's about 2 hours later. And I think you all have been enjoying the booze and the other recreational things a little bit. And so at this point, you are all very well into the partying. So Cam, when we zoom in on you, what exactly do we notice first? What are you talking about? What's going on in the scene? And as of right now, everything seems normal. So what do we catch you doing right now? And this is a scene for everyone too, so feel free.
Sure. So Cam is probably like leaning back against the wall towards maybe what would be like a kitchen area or a food prep area while he's talking to everyone else. But in between the conversation where he keeps trying to veer it towards the importance of tetanus safety, he's looking around to see if there's anything in the kitchen that he might be able to perhaps turn into a piece of art one day. Because really, like old metal, pure metals, anything that is unusual would be a boon that he could bring back.
Definitely. And what is everybody else doing?
Gwen is probably arguing about a new film that came out with Gabe. She likes shallower stuff. It wasn't that bad.
Look, I'm just saying, if you're going to have celebrity actors, you need people who can take shit and roll with it. You know when Viggo Mortensen kicked that helmet and then he broke his toe? That was real. When Leonardo DiCaprio cut his hand in that Tarantino movie and wiped it on that girl's face, that was real. We need that type of raw shit in cinema, not that rom-com fluff.
Leo's so hot. Listen, though. Listen. She did a really great job with what she had. You know, the writing was so, but it was a romantic comedy. You can't expect too much from it.
Look, I'm just saying, I think media should challenge you, which is why I watch really thought-provoking things and not rom-coms. You know, if I don't leave a piece of media feeling uncomfortable, they're doing it wrong.
Well, clearly the thought of the rom-com is making you pretty uncomfortable. So maybe they're doing something right. Mm-hmm.
She's got a point.
I'm too high for this right now. You cannot give this to me.
And from your vantage point in the kitchen, as you begin to move back in towards your friends, you hear suddenly a slow scrape somewhere behind you. It sounds unnatural. It almost sounds like something is being pulled out of a drawer or maybe out of a cupboard or something.
Yeah, I'm just going to slowly kind of turn around and see if I can get a view with the light that we have.
Mm-hmm. And as you turn and you look back towards the area that you were just at, preparing your drink and doing your tetanus expertise presentation, you see that there is a knife block that is right next to the stove. And you can see that one of the knives is slowly drawing out of the knife block, seemingly on its own accord. There is a weird thrumming feeling, almost like your chest is starting to come alive with music. There is a pulsing, a heartbeat that matches a different rhythm than your own. And in that split second, the lights above, because it does have electricity here, kids, the lights above seem to flicker slightly. And in that moment, when the lights flicker down, there is another presence in the kitchen with you. A tall, wide-shouldered man, you hope, that has long horns or something on its head. Its hands continue to close around that knife and pull it the rest of the way out of the knife block. And it turns, and in a voice that is not natural, "Do you want to play with knives, boy?" And in this moment, since terror has been made against you by the outsider, I need you to try to resist what's going on here. Now, what happens is you are going to roll 1d6. You can add a 1 to your die roll if you're able to somehow use one of your strengths to aid yourself in this reaction. Your strengths, of course, being that you are strong and accepting of things.
I rolled 6. Okay. So I feel like I want to accept that something is happening, but I also wonder if I could actually just reach across and try to force the knife back into the block.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you rolled a 6. We'll say you can use one of your strengths at a time. So we'll say that you're going to use your strong strength this time.
Yes.
So it's 1d6 plus 1, 7, which is a pretty acceptable roll. The outsider, however, is going to roll 1d6 or 2d6 if they are exploiting your greatest fear in this moment, which is knives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rolling 2d6.
It's like some mastermind is planning this whole thing.
Ooh. And the outsider rolled a 6, a 5 plus 1. So, Cam, in this moment, you put your hand out in a quick fluid motion, you grab onto that knife and slam it back into the knife block. That presence that's holding the knife, as you make contact with its hand and shove the blade back in, it's icy cold. It almost feels like you are outside in the middle of winter without any sort of protection, and you feel this cold sift down into your very core. And you swear in that moment that that thing meets its gaze with yours. And the lights stop flickering and it is gone.
Cam, what the fuck are you doing? Come on.
I'm gonna catch my breath for a second, shake the knife block, just see if I can get the knife to slide back out. And when it moves, I just kind of like drop it. And I don't want anything to do with those. So I'm just gonna head back into the other room.
Yes.
A little bit of a stagger. I thought I saw something. Is anyone else like super cold or seeing creepy things or?
It's
Oh,
in the
there's this
water.
righteous silverfish over there, but that's about it. You good?
Ew.
Cam, you don't look good. What's going on?
I thought I saw something in the kitchen, and maybe it was nothing, but maybe I maybe I'm seeing stuff. I saw this figure handle the knives. I don't want to touch the knives. I was just, dude, I don't. It's yeah.
Sounds like a bad high to me. Come on.
Yeah,
come on, sit
Natalie-
down.
Yeah.
Natalie like
Water,
hits Fiend's shoulder. I told you not to let him smoke.
No, he's fine. He's such a baby. He's fine.
Probably got bit by a spider.
He did not get bit by a
Did
spider.
not get bit by spider.
It was just
Start
my
checking my
nails.
arms.
You do know it was just my nails that time, right?
Yes, I was
Okay.
there.
So anyway, Citizen Kane, underrated classic.
Everyone talks about Citizen Kane all the time. Like
Yeah.
any film person I've ever talked to talks about Citizen Kane.
Yeah,
about
but the
how
point
great it
is-
and it's just sad.
The point is the not film people aren't talking about it. I'm just saying, when you've digested a certain amount of movies, you're just on like a whole other level of media perception. And I want that for all of you.
I've never seen it. It was spoiled for me.
You know what else is underrated? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
That is a good
I'm
movie.
just saying. Mhm.
That is actually a really good movie.
Sounds like another rom-com to me. Big sip of a PBR. Ugh, I might go get some room tone or something somewhere else. Maybe some B-roll. There's some good stuff in here for a good flick.
Your taste in movies is as good as your taste in beer.
Thanks, Quinn. That's really nice.
Gabe takes his PBR and he walks out of the room, making his way to where? The front door or someplace else?
Oh, no. I'm looking for liminal spaces. Staircases, hallways.
Yes.
I got a camcorder around my neck. I got a little box to record sound with, like a decent mic on it. I'm going to record creakings of mansions. I'm going to get the authentic stuff, like My Chemical Romance did when they recorded Welcome to the Black Parade in that mansion. That's what I'm really here for.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Yeah, you do. You go looking around. Absolutely.
As soon as he's out of sight and I know his mic is on, I'm gonna start stomping my docks as hard as I can on the creaky old floor.
Yes.
Would you shut up, Finn?
What?
This isn't authentic.
It could be. You don't know. I might have been stamping dirt out of my boots.
And I'm just gonna whisper, "Can you hear me?"
You don't hear anything back. I'm like out of the room.
He's no fun.
Fiend just like wraps her arms around Quinn and Nat and tries to get Gabe too, but is just like holding on to them and just pleased.
Y'all do not take life seriously enough, is all I'm saying.
We are on vacation.
No such thing as vacation when you're always hustling.
I feel like vacation is a generous term for this cabin.
Where do you want to go next time then, Princess?
Well, I haven't been to the beach in a while, if you're really asking.
It's fall. The lake is gonna be freezing.
But the waves still look pretty, and if the lake's cold, then that means there's less people around it. So, privacy.
Privacy.
I like less people.
Privacy's not.
Privacy and less people, right here.
That's it.
That's true.
And as your friends' voices seem to just trail off into the jovial nature again, Cam, your eyes slowly creep back towards the kitchen, and you start to question what exactly it was you saw there.
I'm trying to play it back in my head, and it keeps me from getting really into like the discussions of my friends and all that stuff. So I'm not necessarily withdrawn, but I'm like looking at the parts of me that felt the cold. I'm trying to get a handle on like on this whole thing because I'm trying to absorb it to understand and accept what's going on, to see if that will help at all. But anytime I can take another peek in the kitchen, I just veer over. I know I saw that thing. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if I should describe it. So it's because I know my friends will make fun of me.
Right. And that could perhaps be worse than whatever that was in the kitchen.
Perhaps.
Quinn, could you please roll a d6 for me to determine how much later this next scene will take place?
I got a 5. My dice are really liking that number today.
That's it. All right. It is a few hours later, and at this point, it is close to, we'll say, 11 o'clock. It's getting to be towards the middle of the night. You all got there right when the sun went down, which in October in upper Michigan is probably like 6:30 or so. The sun went down. And so you've all been continuing to party. Cam seems to have gotten back to his normalness. And Quinn, there's two ways you can go about continuing the story. One is you can pretend that things are normal and continue, which typically happens this early in the game, or you can try to investigate and see what's going on with this strange occurrence that happened. That choice is up to you as a player.
Oh, well, she assumes that Cam's just stoned, so she doesn't think anything's wrong. So at this point, she's kind of, and also she's a little inebriated. She's been drinking a lot of that shitty, cheap beer to try and put up with the fact that she's here. And she's looking around. So please tell me that there is a bathroom in here and not an outhouse. I didn't bring a flashlight because you didn't warn me there was no electricity until we were already on the road.
Okay, one thing. There is electricity. The lights are on, Quinn.
Oh,
Second thing.
Second.
Second
How
thing.
high are you?
Oh.
Second thing. Has anyone looked for a bathroom?
Wait, whose
just
whose
piss
cabin is
outside.
this? Oh, ew. No, it's muddy enough out there.
It's fun though.
I will go with you to look for a bathroom if you need a bathroom.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy
Stand up
system.
like woozy for a second and be like, I think we need to get some food, and then start walking to go find a bathroom.
Absolutely.
I brought some like granola bars. They're really healthy and really good for you. They were in one of my bags. I think you grabbed them.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And the two of you go searching for a bathroom, and you don't find one in the house directly. But you know enough that even in your inebriated state that there's got to be an outhouse or something like you joked about. There's probably something outside.
What
I
if
think-
there's a snake in the toilet? What if
When has that ever happened, Gwen? When has that
Most
ever
of it-
happened?
Don't use outhouses. It's a very common thing in outhouses, so I've heard.
Well, look, you can either pee outside or you can pee in the outhouse. I need you to pick one. I'll go with you. I will check for snakes if you need me to.
They're both outside.
Correct.
Both of you.
What, do you want to
Yep.
pee in the corner, Quinn? Oh my god.
That would be
No.
gross. Quinny, you could pee in a sink.
No,
Ew.
no, we're not peeing in the sink. I'm gonna grab a flashlight and a granola bar, shove the granola bar in my pocket, and be like, "Come on,
Yeah, will you check for me?
I will check for you."
So Quinn and Nat, you go outside, and who's leading the way? How do you go about this? Looking for a outhouse.
I guess I'm just shining a flashlight around. Like, I don't think I would. I mean, Nat would have no idea, like, if there is a specific spot where outhouses are usually Nat doesn't know, so I'm just shining the light, looking around.
Mm-hmm. Sure, sure. You shine the light for a moment throughout the woods and you catch a lot of strange shapes in the dark. The light plays tricks, it bounces off of the different bark. It's not exactly fully inviting out here, but that unease that you have, you just kind of shake that off. It's just, you've been drinking and doing some other things, so you're just probably a little paranoid that way. But the two of you go outside, and as you start looking around, you do see that there is, in fact, a small little outhouse around the back of the main cabin. It looks like it is right next to that old dilapidated shed that Cam noticed when you all first had arrived. So
Ew,
the outhouse,
ew.
the outhouse is old, kind of crackled wood. There's different spots in the sides of it that looks like it's maybe fallen apart a little bit. There is some lichen that grows up the one side of it, and who knows what it looks like inside though.
Yeah, I think there's this like really long hesitation as I'm holding the handle to like open it up, and I'm just like, okay, how bad do you have to pee?
I mean, pretty bad, and it's only gonna get worse. Like this, it doesn't get better.
Okay, I'm gonna count to 3.
Okay,
1. Okay, but
two.
do you have to pee like that bad? Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna open it,
That.
and then I'll just open it. I'll just rip it open.
You whip it open, and there's a flash of movement inside as something moves and scuttles around. And yeah, you both jump back as maybe it's a raccoon, maybe it's something else, something furry and about the size of a small dog, darts out between the two of you and runs off into the woods.
Ew, ew, ew.
Jesus fucking.
Ugh. I'm
wasn't
gonna
a
get
snake.
Fiend back for this.
You do look inside the small little outhouse, and it is big enough for one person at a time. It is basically a wooden bench in here. There is a hole that's carved in the center of it. And unfortunately, Quinn, it doesn't look like it's got a seat or a pad or anything like that. You got to sit right on that old scrubby wood.
Was this like a torture chamber or something at some point?
Good luck.
Gee, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Quinn, do you go into the outhouse or do you want to do something different?
The most important question of the night.
I think so.
I mean, it's already like really muddy outside. I'm assuming that I don't want to step in it, and I can't see. It's dark, and obviously there's poison ivy around. It's the woods. This is miserable. So I guess I'm gonna use the outhouse after making that check to make sure there's not a snake under whatever is going on under this plaque of wood, and then I'll step inside and just.
Okay.
And you just hear me opening the granola bar outside while I'm waiting. I'm just eating.
Yep. And Quinn, you go within the outhouse. While you wait for her, Nat, there is the typical sounds you have in the woods. There's a couple of twigs that snap here and there. There's a sound, maybe an owl or some sort of other night bird that's moving around doing whatever it is that they do. There is that fog that creeps out over the ground still. It's up a little bit past your ankles. And when you look down, it's almost like you can't see the ground beneath you. So it's a little bit disconcerting. And as you stand there waiting, there is suddenly a light that flickers behind you for a moment. It draws your attention. It almost looks like one of your friends is coming up with their flashlight or with their phone or something, and they're holding it down their side and it's bouncing as they walk along. So when you turn, you look back and you can see that the light is actually coming out of the boarded up window in the attic of the cabin. It flickers a couple of different times and then it streams out through the cracks in the boarded up window out into the night. Very bright. It's almost like daytime coming out of this window. You hear something else as well. Sounds like somebody whispering behind you, directly behind you, as if someone is standing inches behind your back. And inside the outhouse, Quinn, it's dark in here already to begin with, but what sort of illumination do you have? Do you have a flashlight? Do you have a phone? Do you have a candle? Do you have a torch? What do you have here?
I probably didn't think to grab the flashlight from Nat. I was probably too busy being disgusted. So I would have taken my phone out of my pocket and kind of used it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have your phone and you're holding it and you're scrolling through whatever it might be, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, your favorite YouTube show, who knows. And the light on your phone starts to flicker and go out, almost as if you're losing battery power. There is a sound in the water beneath you.
Ew, 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 ew. Okay. I knew there were snakes in here. I knew it. I like jump up and start like fixing my clothes and go to try to open the door.
As you go to jump up, suddenly there is something that latches onto your legs and pulls you down and holds you tight against the top of the toilet hole. You have to struggle and fight to break free. I'm going to need you to roll against the outsider who is turning the house against the visitors. You are going to roll a 1d6, a +1 if you can use one of your attributes, strengths here.
I don't think either of them are applicable.
Yeah, I don't think being passionate or creative does apply here. I think you're right. So it's going to be a 1d6, and the outsider is going to roll a 1d6, a 2d6 if they are exploiting your weakness or your greatest fear, which I don't believe they are, because this doesn't have anything to do with the fact that you're ditzy or afraid of being forgotten by people. So 1d6 for you, 1d6 for the outsider. 6.
Oh no! I rolled a 4.
Okay, so what happens is the hands grab you and pull you down onto the seat, as I mentioned. There is a strong feeling. It almost feels like really strong fingers digging into your hips, and you feel your back start to get pulled down in towards the hole. It feels like there's something beneath in the water trying to pull you down within. How do you react? What do you do?
I start screaming for Nat! Please don't let me die by a toilet monster!
Yes. Nat, suddenly the light coming out of the attic gets so bright you have to look away from it. It's like the sun is glaring out of the house, and you hear, almost distant at first, but then it comes into sharp focus, you hear Quinn screaming inside the outhouse, calling for help. And what do you want to do?
I think, like, as it sounds far away, I'm still focused on the light, but then suddenly, like, the scream sounds not like Quinn being dramatic, and more like Quinn actually being scared. So there's like this snap, and I'd like to turn and just try to open the outhouse door.
Yeah, you struggle with it for a moment while Quinn, you continue to feel yourself getting pulled down in beneath. At this point, you are starting to be bent in half as you're getting pulled down in through the hole. You can feel the wood scraping along your hips, along your back, and it almost sounds like a malicious laughing from the water beneath. It feels like those hands are just pulling you down within, and you can hear the front of the outhouse starts jingling, and it sounds like someone's pounding on it. And Nat, you struggle for a bit. Quinn, unfortunately, because you failed your roll, it's up to Nat here to help you out.
Oh no!
Yes. So Nat, you struggle with the door for a moment, and you really pound and try to pull on it. Everyone else in the house, at this point, you start to hear the yelling from outside. You hear Nat,
guys, get out here! Get the fuck out here!
and you're all inebriated a little bit, but you're all able to still react. It sobers you up a little bit. What do you all want to do?
It's like the Revenant. They found a bear. Let's go.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I didn't mean to kill her.
Yeah. So, yeah, you bound outside, and yeah, you see that Nat is struggling with an old, dilapidated outhouse door. It doesn't look like it should be strong enough for her to be resisting it for that long and that hard. But you can see she is really struggling. Quinn, you feel getting pulled down in. You can feel that there is icy water that is streaking up and coming up along your sides. You feel like you're getting pulled down into the water proper. And yeah, you all come running out.
Can I make an argument here? I want to just like basically throw my back onto them, like, hey, support my weight, and I want to use my legs to try to kick the latch of this door to get it to open.
Oh, it's better than my idea. I was gonna try to knock it sideways.
I'll hold her up.
Okay.
And just like pushed against her so she has a pull.
Definitely. And in this moment, you working together, you struggle. Fiend, you hold on to her as she leans back, and you, with all of your weight, with all of your might, you rip, and that door finally smashes and splinters off of the hinge. It rips free, and the two of you go tumbling backward. Cam and Gabe, you look within, you can see that Quinn is half inside this toilet in the ground. Basically, she has her feet sticking up, and she has from her chest up sticking out. Her one arm is clawing towards you guys, and it's getting very frantic, very scary all of a sudden here.
I'm gonna reach for her arm, her hand.
Okay.
See if I can grab her forearm.
Yeah, likewise. I'm gonna help out. How did you reverse ache yourself, Quinn?
Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Get me out of here!
And the two of you burst in, and it is tight in here, as I mentioned, but the second the two of you come in and you grab a hold of her, there is a sound, and something seems to change. There was a coldness in here that suddenly goes away, and the two of you are able to pull her. Quinn, you suddenly feel whatever was pulling you down has let go. And as they pull you out, you look down, expecting yourself to be covered with all this putrid grossness, but you're completely dry.
Are you okay? What the fuck happened?
There is a sewage monster in there, and it groped me. Fiend, what the fuck?
I didn't think it was going to be like this. They said it was nice.
I
I'm
want
sorry.
to immediately step in and shine my light down.
Okay. And as you do, Nat, your flashlight looks down into the empty little container beneath where it would hold water. It's bone dry. It hasn't been used in years, looks like.
All right, Quinn. Maybe you're overreacting. I mean, there could have been a raccoon in there or something like that.
A raccoon? You think? I mean, I know that I'm not the strongest individual, but you think a raccoon could have pulled me into that? You think I wasn't hovering over it? I would never put my butt on that.
It's more likely than a sewage monster. We are above an outhouse. There's no sewage. There's no sewer to grab you with.
That's a
Fine, an
that's a
outhouse
semantic.
monster then.
All right, we can find some other place for you to pee. Nat, do you see what she might have been talking about?
Quinn, there's nothing in here.
But I felt it. It groped me. It had its grimy fucking hands all over my thighs.
And then I just looked to the rest and I'm like, she sounded pretty scared, guys.
All right. Maybe we just go back inside, leave the outhouse alone. We can sleep with the lights on tonight.
Sure, there's a bucket or something.
It's
I didn't
fine.
mean that in a shitty way. I just meant it like,
I can hang up that tablecloth.
yeah, we'll make it work.
No, it's fine. I'll go in the woods. But if I get poison ivy, you all are buying me oatmeal for an oatmeal bath.
It's actually
Sure.
quite simple to avoid poison ivy. You just count the leaves.
I'll go with you. I'll make sure you don't squat in poison ivy.
Thank you.
Sorry.
And yes, Fiend and Quinn, you find a different place to relieve yourselves. And Cam, you look back towards the cabin again, and you think about your little interaction earlier, and you hope that that's not connected.
I get the feeling that it is, though. I just want to see if I can talk to Quinn alone so I don't get judged by everybody.
Okay. And after a little bit of time, Quinn does come back with Fiend, and she seems to be a little calmer. I mean, that's still a harrowing event that happened, so she's still upset. But yeah, you could take this moment to pull her aside if you have to.
Hey, so what? When I went in there, I felt this like coldness. Did you get that too? Was that a thing?
Well, yes, but I mean, I also felt wet, but I apparently wasn't wet. It like, I could have sworn it was dragging me into actual sewage. I was a little less concerned about the cold. I mean, it's chilly outside. I just thought it was a breeze.
Like I know I saw something in the kitchen. Like I kind of wrestled with it. It was pretty strong. Like, dude, like, oh my god. So I don't know if it grabbed you, maybe, but everything looked dry. I don't know. I'm just saying,
Wait.
maybe we should be careful.
What did you see something in the kitchen or?
Yeah, well, okay. So when I was in there, I'm just looking at all this stuff, all this junk, and then the knives start moving on their own. And when it starts to like get up, I just kind of tried to slam it back into the knife block because I didn't want to see that. So it there was someone there, and we kind of locked eyes for a second, and they disappeared. And I don't know, maybe I was high, but I know what I felt. I know I wrestled with it. I know my hand hurts a little bit from doing it.
Yeah, whatever was pulling me in was also really, really uncomfortably strong. Had really gross, strong hands.
You didn't
Um,
see anything?
It was really dark. I just had my phone like, oh god, I could have dropped my. Well, I guess there's no actual sewage in there, but like, I couldn't see. It was behind me or
You know.
under me, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Look, I'll see if I can set something up with a bucket or something in the meantime. But yeah, maybe we should just try to be more careful.
Yeah, I don't think we should like separate from each other.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna head back in and see if I can clock like a weapon of some sort, like a fire poker.
Okay. Yes, you all at this point are back in, and yeah, there is a fire poker over by the fireplace for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick it up and test the balance.
Oh yeah, it's old. Again, it looks like it's cast iron though. It's very heavy, and it looks like it's going to work pretty well. Yeah, feels pretty balanced, as you would say. And yeah, the five of you wonder what might be coming next tonight. Nat, if you could please roll a d6 for me to determine how much later this next scene will take place.
That's a 5 again.
5. Oh man, just this night's flying by. Okay. In the hour and a half or so since the incident in the outhouse happened, it's past. Actually, we'll say it is about to be midnight. We'll make it really nice here. That special time of the night in a creepy cabin. In the meantime, you all, again, it was a little bit uneasy. I think the revelry might have died down a little bit, but you still are being calm. I would think that you're still drinking or perhaps smoking, but it's not as jovial as it was. This is more to calm down. And Nat, with your scene here, again, you can decide to A, continue along like nothing happened, or B, you can try to start investigating and seeing what's going on with this cabin here, what you might be really experiencing.
Yeah. Well, one of Natalie's strengths is that she's brave. So by seeing the light that was coming out of the attic, Natalie's gonna do the really dumb thing and go investigate the attic.
Okay. Specifically, what are you looking for in the attic? What type of answers are you trying to find?
I think figuring out where the light was coming from first, and then I think it depends on kind of what's in there. I mean, just kind of like seeing if there's anything, because there's nothing very like personable in, like the living room or anything like that. Like everything was covered. You've got like basic stuff. So I don't know if there was anything about like the owners or anything like that. Just looking for anything I can find about the place, I suppose.
Absolutely. The stairs that go up to the attic are pretty easy to find. They're in towards the back, towards the master bedroom. Gabe was there earlier setting up some really nice B-roll footage. I would think that he's actually probably still sitting there, cradling his camera, and so he notices you go past.
Yeah, I've got an extremely well organized camera bag that I have like slung across my chest. Inside of it, you can see like multiple little compartments with an extremely rolled up microphone wire in there, and I'm just like, hey, Nat.
Hey, I'm heading up to the attic. You want to come see if you can catch anything cool?
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do this.
All
I
right.
pack up super quickly with all of my film kid set experience. It's tripod, mic, wires, and then I'm going with that.
Nice. I'm picturing a very Sam Raimi close-up shot on each one of those things as you set them all
Hell
up.
yeah.
Literally. I couldn't have directed it better myself.
Oh, there we go. All right. The other three of you are in just your various states of thought or whatever. So the two of you do make your way upstairs. It's a small flight of stairs that leads up into a small little landing that has a single door. The single door looks like it's a pretty strong construction. It looks like, compared to the rest of the house, it looks newer.
Is it locked?
You try it, and it is in fact locked.
I mean, you're pretty good at breaking down doors, right? Just like before.
Yeah, fuck it. And I'll just lean back and try to give it a kick. Since it does look newer, I don't know how well I can kick this door down, but I'll give it a shot.
You know what? No, Gabe's flaw is he's selfish. He's not helping out. He's on the camera.
Nice. All right. Yeah, Nat, you do a couple of kicks at the door, and it is very sturdy. Unlike the outhouse door, it's not just going to open right up when you kick it. Also, it seems to open out, which makes it a little tough to kick it in. But
I think I figured that out after the second kick. I am kicking, and I kick again, and I'm like, Gabe, this opens out.
Oh. I mean, that's a pretty easy fix, right? We just pick the lock?
You didn't get that on camera, did you?
Oh, no, I got all of it. It's going to be great.
Good.
So picking a lock, that's interesting. Which one of you knows how to do that?
Not Natalie.
I think
Do you know how to do that, Gabe?
Gabe thinks he does.
Aha. Okay.
I'll use my house keys because I'm a genius.
Okay. Yeah, you finagle with the door a little bit. You mess around with it, and Natalie, you're very surprised that in fact he is able to get the door open.
Gabe, that's never gonna. Oh my god.
See, what'd I tell you? Stand back up, pocket to keep.
Nice.
Listen,
I like hold up for a high five.
I return it. Listen, I'm a city kid. You know, we kind of always have to have these skills on hand. So if I'm just like good at a lot of things, you don't have to be surprised by it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Gabe.
I take the camera back up. You want to lead the way again, or?
And I just turn the flashlight into the room and step in.
All right. And as you step into the room, you see it is a very dark attic. There is no lights up here, unlike down below where there's electricity running. Everything up here is very dark. You do have your flashlight, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And so as you stream it through the room, you can catch certain little glimpses of things as you look across the room. It looks like on the far wall directly across from you, there is a triangular shaped wall. The roof up here is pretty steep. It's that open design that has, you can see the point from here. In the far end of the room, there is some sort of table up here. And you can also see that there is what looks to be a smaller table off to the left. The smaller table has some stuff on it that's again covered with a cloth like the furniture downstairs was.
You want to take the lead on this again, Nat? I've got the camera held up. Because, I feel like if we were in Until Dawn, you'd be like the Hayden Panettiere character. Like, you'd probably be like the strong female lead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, scanning the flashlight over everything, I think I, beeline to the window.
Okay. Yeah. There is just the one window in here, and it is the one that was all boarded up. And when you move over to it, you know that the light would have been streaming through here. You can see that on this side of it, it looks like some sort of stained glass mosaic is over the window.
Huh. And does it look like enough of my, flashlight light would be enough to, stream out towards where we were standing?
Yeah, you're pretty smart. I wouldn't say that it would look like that. It looks like, it'd have to be something super, super bright. A flashlight's not going to quite do it. Gabe, as you're in here and you're looking around with your camera, you're kind of taking some B footage, so to speak. As you're moving your camera around, there is something that walks across the lens of your camera on the far end of the room, right by that table beneath the arched part of the wall.
Oh, immediately I follow it. I track to it immediately.
Yeah, when you track over to the corner where you saw it dart off to, there's nothing standing there.
The light here is so weird, Nat. Like, I keep getting, like, weird flashes of shadows going on in here. Is that window, like, messing with stuff?
So I saw a light out of it when we were, when I was waiting for Quinn outside
We were
the
outside?
outhouse. Anyway, it was really bright. It's not making sense. There's no light in here. I don't know where it would have come from.
Wow. Yeah, your stomach okay, Nat, or was that...
You both heard something strange within the attic. Some sort of strange moan or a whine, even.
Can I, like, dart my flashlight over to where I heard it?
Definitely. You dart your flashlight over to that table with the covered cloth on top of it. And when your light dashes over to that direction, it looks like whatever's beneath the cloth shifts.
No.
All right, we got a wild animal situation going on in here.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the sheet off.
All right, I'm going to stand like 20 feet away. I back all the way up.
Okay. Are you getting this all on camera?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
Gabe's camera sees slow movements forward, and then I will, like, grab onto the sheet, kind of glance back at Gabe, like, are you ready? Even though, like, Gabe's not fucking doing anything, but...
You got this, Nat. If it's a raccoon, they get scared of loud noises. If it's a bear, it's the opposite, but it's probably not a bear.
Yeah. Nat, as your fingers close across this really dark red cloth and you whip it free, the room suddenly explodes into light. You can see this entire area up here in the attic. There's now candelabras and different sorts of accoutrement throughout the room. That table at the far wall looks like some sort of altar. There are strange golden sigils and equipment here. You can see that there is a person laying on the table beneath the cloth. It looks like a young girl, probably about your age, and she is scantily clad. She has blood caked on parts of her body, and she has deep cuts in her chest and her arms that look like some sort of strange symbols that you don't recognize. And over by that altar type area, there is suddenly a form that starts to rise up out of the ground slowly, almost as if they're on some sort of elevator or something. This shadowy figure slowly rises up. Gabe, with your camera, you see her suddenly stop, motionless, looking at an empty table. Nothing has changed for you or for your camera. But Nat, that form rises all the way up, a wide-shouldered, shadowy form over by this altar. Its head almost reaches the pointed ceiling. And you can see from the light in here, there are long, almost horns, ram's horns perhaps, off of each side of this person's head. And the woman on the table looks up at you pleadingly. Please, help, please. With terror once again being made, I need you to go ahead and roll against this. So again, D6 plus 1 if you can use one of your attributes, strengths.
Okay, I think I will use Brave.
Okay, I like that. So the outsider is going to roll a 1d6 because, again, your fear or your weakness is not going to come into play here, I don't think. Okay. 5.
7.
Okay. And Nat, you look at this young woman, and you can see that now it all clicks into your mind. You figure out what's going on. You can see that the way she's cut up, the way everything looks in here, this is some sort of dark ritual, some sort of strange sacrifice or something. And you can see over by that man thing at the altar, it slowly starts to turn. And when it does, a long shadowy cloak that it has starts to fall away. It turns and its body is unnatural. It looks mainly human, but it has long, hairy, goat-like legs that end in hooves. There is strange markings all over his chest as well. And as he turns, his bright, glowing yellow eyes meet yours. Have you come to play, little girl?
Gabe, run.
What?
Run!
Okay. I don't know what's going on, but I run.
Down below, you all hear just Gabe. What? Okay. And then you hear boom, boom, like a bunch of noise upstairs, like people are just having a tussle up in the attic. And Gabe, half running, half falling, half slipping, comes tumbling down the stairs.
I legit slide sideways down one of those staircases. And
Nice. I love it.
I keep going.
Yes. And yeah, and he gets down to the main floor. You're all instantly awake, especially after everything that's happened before. Cam and Quinn, you both feel icy cold creep into the room. It's like all of the heat of the fire has died away all of a sudden.
Yeah, I start getting my feet pretty quickly. I feel like I know exactly what's going on. I have the fire poker. Not that I believe it's really going to help much, but it makes me feel better. I'm just gonna head towards Gabe to see if I can. But I also try to keep my eyes on Quinn as well, because I know we're kind of like both in it. And I look at Quinn. I just say, "Is this it? Are you getting this?"
Yeah. Gabe?
I just stand back up from having like rammed into the ground floor wall. Nat found a weird table and then told me to run. And I don't know why I did. She just has this like natural heroic charisma. I don't know why I don't cast her more often.
You left her alone?
She told me to.
I take off running.
Hey, I am not to blame for... shit.
And Fiend, you go bounding up the steps to the back that leads up to the attic. Up in the attic, Nat, this figure starts striding towards you slowly. He starts reaching out a long, gnarled hand in your direction. Come, play with me.
So
Reaches for you.
I think Natalie would have moved to like try to touch the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible, or do I just go right through her?
You put your hand down and you make contact with the young girl. You grab onto her shoulder, and there was a flash of memory that streaks up into you. You see almost through the girl's eyes for a moment, like you're going through something else, almost like you're seeing her memories somehow. You can see her going to the college that you all go to. You see her in a class that you know that Fiend has, a creative writing type of course. And you can see that she is being approached by two shadowy figures. And you get pulled out of that as a large gnarled hand squeezes around your shoulder. You can feel icy cold that starts to burn as the fingers dig into your shoulder and rip you away from the young woman. And you look up, you see this man, this creature looking at you again, and he just looks at you, a wicked smile. Come, stay.
Who the hell are you?
It looks like he's about to say something when you hear Fiend calling your name as she runs up the stairs.
Nat?
He looks up towards the stairs. Ah, I see. And he leans down in like he's going to whisper something in your ear.
Fuck. I let him.
Okay. You're not the one I seek. And then his eyes dart up towards the archway. As Fiend, you come bounding into the room. And as you come bounding into the attic, like Gabe before, you just see an empty attic. It's not lit up. You don't see this figure. You don't see the girl on the table. You just see Nat standing in the center of the attic, staring up at something. And her hands are tight down at her side, almost like she's held in place by something. What do you want to do?
I don't slow down. I full barrel into her and just grab her around the waist and like try to wiggle away from whatever she's looking at.
Mhm.
What's up there? Is it what is it? What is it? I can't see anything. What is it?
Now you can barely hear her words as she's pulling you away. You could feel her arms close around you and pull you away from the figure. As he looks up, he's looking right at Fiend with a large smile on his face.
I don't know if Natalie can speak right now. Like, I really think there's this bit of shock and like a lot of information just came to her in a matter of like a few seconds, and I think there's this like processing. She's just staring him in the eyes though, as she's kind of being like pulled away.
Definitely. And Fiend, you pull her. She's completely catatonic, doesn't respond. You pull her out of the door of the attic, and as you do, on its own accord, it slams shut. And as the door slams shut, Nat, you're back in your senses. You're not looking at that man anymore.
I don't think Fiend is paying attention to the door shutting at all. I think she watched like a TikTok about absence seizures and is convinced that that's what's happening to Nat. So she's like grabbing her face and trying to like pull her down to look at her and be like, do we need to go to the hospital? I don't know if an ambulance can get out here, but I'm still pretty high. I probably shouldn't drive. Tell me what to do.
And I think all of that was like that like underwater sound, and then once like Natalie snaps back, just like grabs Fiend's wrists. We have to leave. We have to go.
What?
We have to get the fuck out of here.
Why? I mean, I know it's not great and it's kind of gross, but it has a charm, right? It's a little weird, it's a little drafty, but it's
No,
fun, right?
Do I know the girl's name by those memories?
No.
Okay.
As the two of them at this point are coming down to the base of the stairs, they are reunited with the other three of you. So you can feel free to have reactions as well.
Has the temperature gone back to normal?
It has.
Nat, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, and none of us are going to be okay if we don't get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice.
Are you all getting scared of this place?
You didn't see that, Gabe? You didn't.
I turn my camera around and I fast forward through the footage of Nat in the attic to show
Standing
her
there like a dumbass.
standing there, exactly.
Yeah, it just shows you walking up to the table. You pull the cloth free. You stand there for a moment, and then you say, "Gabe, run," and then you turn and you stare for a full minute and a half at something up near the ceiling, and then Fiend comes in and pulls you out of the room. Actually, that wasn't all on the camera, I suppose.
I mean, I could have said it on
Yeah,
the
you see
tripod
from
or
his
something.
angle from the base of the stairs. We'll say it that way. He sees all. The camera sees all.
So,
It's
Nat,
our Blair Witch project. Everything's on camera.
Mhm.
yeah, Nat, the camera sees all, and let me tell you, it saw nothing. So, if we need to go, we can go. I got what I needed out of this place. I got some sick footage, but if we need to get going, I mean, no sweat off my back. I've got enough monster to keep me energized for the drive.
I absolutely vote we go.
Fiend, how did you hear about this place?
I don't know, couple dudes in my sculpture class, but I don't know. I think they like sit in the back, maybe. I don't really remember their names. They're just like they're like football bros who are trying to like get an easy A or something. I don't know. They seemed like chill though when they were telling me about it, and they made it sound nicer than it is.
I just happen to know about this squatter palace out in the middle of the woods. Is that
Well,
all right?
well, you say it like that, it makes it.
Also, Fiend, you know people who came to this place and then came back. So I think that should logically eliminate anything that we are afraid of. We can just leave, like those guys probably did. Big deal.
I
Yeah,
guess that's fine.
At this point, you all start making your way towards the front door, And the front door that you have all got closed at this point, you try to open it, and it doesn't open.
Hang on, let me. Nat saw me do this upstairs. It was really cool. I jiggle my key around in the lock to see if anything happens.
Oh, you gonna do your lockpick trick?
Always.
What? He's been doing this for years. It's great.
This time you try it, and it does not work, however, Gabe. In fact, the key that you try to use to do that, when you pull it free, it almost looks like it's been melted away.
That's my fucking house key.
Guys, this isn't funny. Open the door.
No, I'm not joking around. Why would I joke around my house key getting mangled? There's something. I scratch at the lock to see if it's burning hot. That's weird. It looks like it's burned.
Yeah, the lock's not hot. It feels like a regular door, but yeah, for some reason that did not work, and it did not like you trying to do that.
Okay, I mean, there's windows, there's other exits. Let's just go check them out. We can open a window. We can open a window, break a window. Cam, you got that fire stick, and we can leave.
Way ahead of you. And I'm just gonna start like seeing if I can just like poke things to see if they're weird, and then if I can, if the window doesn't move, I'll see if I can wedge it.
Yeah, absolutely. You all start trying to find different avenues outside of the house here. Real quick, some housekeeping. Nat, because you were successful in your role of trying to investigate, you were able to discover that basically there was some sort of strange ritual or sacrifice that happened at this cabin that involved that young woman. So you were able to discover one of the secrets of the outsider, which might help you later in the outcome of the battle. So, Gabe, as you guys are all looking around, if you could roll a d6 for me to determine how much later this is going to be.
Absolutely. That's a 3.
3, okay. It's a few minutes later. You guys have all been trying to go through the room, and in those frantic moments of trying to go through the cabin, trying to find a way out, you have met similar results. You have seen that basically any sort of window that you try to open does not open. Now the windows are hot to the touch. It hurts to try to open them. You try a couple times, Cam, with the poker to smash or break the windows, and it doesn't break. I mean, this is an old rustic cabin. It shouldn't have windows that are this strong, but they just do not want to open. That one door that goes in and out, again, it will not open. It seems that you all are in this cabin and you are seemingly trapped here. So Gabe, this ball is in your court here. Do you want to try to continue on like everything normal, or do you want to try to uncover more information about what's happening here?
Gabe is in panic mode, and he doesn't really deal super well with that. So I think Gabe's frustration is kind of manifesting physically. Like, he'll try a window, he'll burn his hand and be like, come on, and he'll kick it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gabe has not let up on finding a way out, just because he's annoyed that he wants to do something and he can't. So he's single-mindedly set on, if not breaking things, then looking for ways out. But he's getting a little spooked. He wants someone with him. He'd probably take Cam, but I think he'd also be chill with Fiend as well.
Okay. Yeah, so the 2 or 3 of you start trying to look around, and again, yeah, you're just having a hard time finding any sort of ways in or out. There is one other way that you might be able to get out. If you crawl up the fireplace, you might be able to get out through the roof.
I have an idea, guys. There's no way to block a chimney, right?
Well, it's got the flu, as long as we can.
Yeah, I think there is a way to block the chimney.
I'll just is the flu mechanism working or even present?
It's an older cabin, so you're not entirely sure. There is some sort of lever-looking thing next to the fireplace, but it's stuck in an up position.
I mean, I can go up and check. I mean, like, I'm not Cam here, but I do work out. I'm pretty confident that I can, like, hold myself.
I'll give you a boost.
Up for a little while. Yeah, that'll be fantastic.
I mean, it might be a little hot right now. We've been burning a fire in there for hours.
Yeah, but that's because of the metal. That's because of the metal and stuff, like with the locks and the window. I'm right. I'm gonna climb up the flue, up the chimney.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you
I
start.
might fail.
You might. Yeah. At this point, the fire has been extinguished as best it can. So there is some smoke that trails up through there. You don't want to crawl up there when there's an active fire because, yeah, if you fall or something, that's going to be a bad scene. So you take the last little bit of ice out of your coolers, you dump it all in there. There's no more fire. And Gabe, you slip in there, you start climbing up. And as he starts climbing up, that constriction of him moving up through the fireplace has you kind of having some pity feelings there, Quinn. Is there anything you want to say or do in this moment as you think back to your experience in the outhouse?
I don't know that we should let him do this. Maybe you should like pull him down. I don't like this. What if he gets stuck in there? We don't have anyone around to help him. We can't leave.
Yeah, I don't love him being up there either. Maybe we'll find a different way. Maybe there's a basement or something. Gabe, come back down.
Basement's an even worse idea, Fiend. Basement's always a worse idea.
Gabe, you could get stuck. I couldn't. There was no way I could have got that out of that toilet by myself. What if you get stuck up there? We can't reach you. You should just come on down.
If it looks like I'm gonna fall, throw some blankets underneath and I can catch myself.
Falling is literally the opposite of what I'm worried about. What if you get stuck?
How could I get stuck when it's just... If it makes you feel better, I can come back down, but I don't want to be the only one trying to solve this. I don't want to be the only one figuring this out.
You're not the only one. Oh my god.
Gabe, as you start to climb back down, there is a cold chill that comes up from the top of the fireplace, the flue area, the exhaust at the top, and it comes down through the fireplace, and you feel that cool wash over you. And Gabe emerges back down out of the fireplace into the room.
Guys, I think I felt a weird like a chill up there, which is strange. It's probably just some air leaking from the top. But I mean, if anyone else has solutions, let's go do it now.
No. That's what we all felt before all that freaky shit happened. It got really cold.
Yeah, did you see anything?
Or hear anything?
Let's see. Yeah, I saw a bird poke its head over the chimney and say, "Your friends are idiots." So we should just continue trying to find our way out, I think.
Fine.
A bird said that?
Sarcasm, Cam.
Oh.
I think
All right, you got me again.
I think while Gabe was trying to climb, Natalie was like sketching the figure that she saw. So I think that's sitting on the table, like by the couches right now.
Great, absolutely. Cam, you look away from Gabe for a moment and you look at the drawing, and it is that figure that you saw in the kitchen when you first arrived. Sans knife.
I just do that snap and point. It's like this. Look, dude. Oh my God, this is the thing I saw in the kitchen. Remember I said I got all cold and it was all weird, and this guy. This is the thing. It was. He asked me if I wanted to play games. I just keep looking in the kitchen, constantly looking over my shoulder. Yeah, it got super cold. I had to wrestle this guy. Super strong. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw him in the attic.
What was he doing in the attic?
Some sort of ritual sacrifice?
What?
Yeah,
Like
but
you
Quinn,
asked-
you didn't see it though, right?
No,
You said
no.
you didn't see anyone.
No, I just felt his grimy hands. I looked. Did Nat sketch his hands?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that looks about right. It felt so cold and so gross, and
Wait,
I
hold
heard
on.
strong.
his creepy voice. Yes, so very strong.
Can we go back to the ritual sacrifice thing? I feel like we're like undercutting that.
So the table that I was looking at, there was a girl. I feel like I should know her, and I feel bad for not knowing her, but I think she was in one of your classes. And I just kind of describe her to the best of my ability. But she had these symbols on her, and then that fucker, and I just point to the drawing, came up and asked me to come with him. And then I trail off.
Did you say anything to it? Sometimes creatures from beyond don't play by our rules. So did you say anything? Did you promise it anything? Did you give it anything?
How would you know about creatures from the beyond, Fiend?
I've done a lot of research on cryptids, duh.
What, there's no
Okay.
movies on Mothman?
Yeah.
Look, no,
That
I
one's good.
didn't promise it anything. I asked what its name was, or I asked who he was. He
He's not gonna
didn't
tell you that.
Yeah, he didn't answer. He didn't really say much else.
Okay. From her description, would I know the girl from my class?
It does ring a bell. Yeah, you do think that this girl was in your class. Her name might have been Tiffany or Teresa or something.
Yeah, name like Tanya, or Teresa, or Tiffany, or Talia. I don't know.
Tanya, Teresa, Tiffany, what? So
Close.
you didn't actually know this girl?
I mean, I think I peer reviewed one of her stories once. I don't know. It's a moderately sized class, and I don't talk to people that often.
I mean, did you two have anything in common? Did you both like games, Fiend?
Games?
Games.
Yeah, I like a game night as much as the next person. What the fuck are you talking about, games? We played Jenga 3 weeks ago.
Nobody wants to play with me.
I immediately
Tackle Fiend.
I was gonna say rush over to the knife block and
Okay.
pull out a knife.
Yes, Gabe suddenly leaps off of his feet. He grabs you, Fiend, and he slams you into the floor of the cabin, in between where the couches are. And Nat, yeah, just something about the way he said that. There's that icy chill that washed over you. You turn and you sprint towards the kitchen. You reach for the knife block and you grab onto the knife and you rip it free. The entire knife block goes flying and tumbling all over the floor. Cam, there's now knives all over down by your feet.
I'm so sorry.
And
I'm so sorry.
you run back into the living room. Gabe, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm holding Fiend down and I'm saying in an unnatural voice, I've been waiting for a long time. I've been looking for you. Will you play? Will you play this game?
Gabe, we play games all the time. What the fuck are you doing? Get off!
He's very strong. Gabe, I assume, is not the strongest in the group to begin with, but right now it's like there is 3 or 4 of him holding you down. He has his hands are gripped onto your shoulders, and they are like icy grips just digging into your shoulders. You can see his eyes, they look like they're glossy, like he's not quite here, and he's just digging you down into the floor, pushing you almost through the floorboards. Nat, you come bounding back in with the knife. Gabe, there is suddenly a force that slams into the side of you, but he does not go off of her. It's like you run into the wall. You're just not strong enough to get him off of her. He just continues to grab a hold. His hands dig even tighter into your shoulders, Fiend. What are you two doing?
Stop! You're hurting! Quit it! And I think I want to just man. I feel like in my pockets I have a little lighter or something, and I just want to flick it in his eyes, not to hurt him, but just to kind of close enough to surprise him and maybe singe an eyebrow, but not enough to hurt him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you pull out the lighter. You flicks a couple of times, and it does spring to life. You wave it in front of his face for a moment. And Gabe seems to be unfazed for a moment by this. Quinn, Cam, what are you two doing in all this commotion that's going on here?
I'd like to see if I can kick some of these knives away first,
Okay.
and then I want to just use my actual strength and like really dig my heels in and see if I can pry Gabe up and off.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, you take a moment, you stare at the knives, and they fill you with a dread that you can almost not walk away from. But you manage to break away from that. You can hear the screaming, you can hear the fighting, and you rush past Quinn, who's standing off to the side staring at all of this, and you go over towards where Gabe is, and you and Nat come up together. You try to force him off, and the two of you start struggling and fighting and pulling him off. Gabe, you are not wanting to be moved though, but you could feel them starting to pull and tear at you. What are you doing?
I have who I'm looking for, right? I think if they can't move me, I'm going to scoop her up and I'm going to go to the attic.
Oh, okay.
I am not going to let him do that.
I'm looking around for a blunt object, a brick, something made of wood, just anything blunt.
Yeah.
I might have given you the poker when I used 2 hands on Gabe.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I'm gonna swing that and try and hit him in the head and knock him out.
All right,
And actually,
Do
when I
it.
see him starting to
Mhm.
like scoop her,
Yeah.
can I just start running to the attic?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he flips himself over, and he slams you in the chest. You go flying backwards over the couch. And you roll backwards. You spin a couple of times and slam up against the wall. There's part of the wood that shatters and comes down around you. Gabe scoops her up and stands up. Quinn, you run over. Yeah, you've got that poker. You swing, and you crack him right in the side of the face. Gabe, almost as if barely feeling it, his head just slightly, and there's a giant cut that forms across his cheek. Blood starts pouring down his face.
I think you smashed one of my glasses lenses too.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
probably
yeah.
like little pieces of plexiglass or whatever the actual material glasses are made of that like fall down my face.
Yeah, and he starts taking her towards the attic. Nat, you bound up the stairs into the attic, and when you throw open that door, again, it's all lit up in here. It looks like the sacrifice is in full swing. Something is about to go down in here. Cam, you're not knocked out or anything, so you get back up to your feet. You look around to see what's going on. You see Quinn is standing there with the poker, looking shocked. She's not sure why nothing happened. Gabe is slowly, confidently walking towards the steps of the attic, holding Fiend, who of course is trying to resist and trying to get away.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can catch up. And now it's less about wrestling Gabe and more about seeing if I can get Fiend free, like maybe tear like a sleeve that might have been held or something like that. Something to anything to get some slippage. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah. And yeah, you are trying to pull him away, but again, he is just undeterred. Gabe, you are just not yourself. The presence, because you failed our secret role contest here, presence has fully taken over at this point. So what does it do?
I'm so close. I'm so close. You won't stop me. I think I'm holding Fiend with one arm maybe over the shoulder. I just, with my supernatural strength, swing the other one, maybe like rake across the wall with my nails, and if anyone is around me, I slam them.
Yeah. And yeah, Cam comes bounding up behind you. Yeah, you just slam him. And again, Cam, you go flying back. You burst through that door of that master bedroom, stumble back, you land on that big bed. And for a second, it's like the sheets of the bed start to writhe and form and grip around your wrists and your wrists and your ankles, trying to hold you onto the bed. The walls look like black, sort of strange, oily creatures that are moving around, dripping down the walls and shrieking an unholy scream. Fiend, this friend of yours, this Gabe that you used to know so well, he is a stranger right now. Nat, in the attic, you look around, you know you have just moments. You're looking around, I try to figure out a way to kind of figure out how to get out of this. But in this moment, Fiend, I need you to roll a d6. Now, typically this would be to determine how much longer later this is, but we're going to have this be for something different because this is the final scene of the family before our confrontation. So if you could roll that d6 for me, please.
I'm rooting for you. My character isn't, but I'm rooting for you.
I shit you not, another 5.
Another 5, okay. And Fiend, in this moment, you think about that girl who was trapped upstairs. You think about this moment, and you know that you just have moments to get out of this. You know that somehow, if you aren't in the attic when midnight is finally over, you're going to be able to get out of this somehow. Gabe is just continuing to carry you up the stairs, and Quinn, what are you doing downstairs? You just see all this commotion going on. You're not sure what all is happening here.
I guess I'm gonna run up behind Cam to try and help as best I can. I've still got the poker, even though it proved to be fairly useless just now. And yeah, I'm not thinking really clearly. Just what the fuck. But I probably would run out the door if I could open it.
Right.
But as it is, I don't want to be by myself downstairs. So I'm gonna go, I guess, try to help.
Yeah. So you run up to behind it, and then you notice that Cam is in the bedroom on the bed. The bed sheets seem to be coming alive and trying to pull him down into the bed. And you burst in there with the fire poker. As I said, there's all these weird, sort of strange, oily creatures. Look like they're made out of weird, putrid water, just streaking down the walls. The wallpaper's shredding off. There's this weird shrieking and screaming in here. And he is just, he's in danger right now.
Shit. Okay. I guess I'm gonna use the poker to try and like grab and rip the sheet away from him.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it, but
yeah. No, I like that. Yeah. You take the poker and you start struggling with the bed. You do manage to get one of his arms free as part of the bed starts to move and try to reach out to try to grab you as well. Up in the attic, Nat, you look around. What are you looking for?
I would love to snatch up that book.
Okay. You run over and you snatch up the book, and it is very heavy, old paper. It smells like an old bookstore, but you can see all the writings and the markings within, and it's in a language you don't quite understand, but what you do for some reason seem to understand about it is that because of the success of Fiend's role, you are able to know that the sacrifice can be stopped if someone who loves those who are supposed to be sacrificed intervenes.
Okay.
Gabe continues his... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I had an original plan here, and I think I kind of still want to give it a try. I would like to tuck the book as good as I can under my arm, and I know they're coming up the stairs, but I just want to run, out. I want to get the book out of the attic, so that basically he has more pieces he has to retrieve and bring back into the attic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Can I aid with this, actually? My plan as we're going up the stairs, I think Fiend doesn't really understand what's happening, and she thinks that Gabe is mad at her for something, or he's playing a really mean trick, or he's just she thinks this is him and she's done something wrong. So I think she's trying to grab his face and make him look at her and be like, Gabe, I'm really sorry, I don't know what's going on, but you can stop this now. We're all scared. You can stop this now. Just let me go, please. This really hurts, and I'm really scared, and I don't like this, and I just want my friend back. Please come back.
Gabe, what a silly name. No.
It's a good name.
No. None of that matters now. I'm so close.
We'll shoot your film somewhere else. We'll shoot your film somewhere safer. This sucks. This really sucks, and I'm sorry that I said this.
To die so ignorant, I pity you, I really do. But this is part of the plan.
Hey, asshole.
Yeah, the two of you meet on the landing just outside of the attic door. You are standing with the book. Yeah, he turns and regards you, and You swear in the low light up here that Gabe is huge, tall, wide-shouldered. Doesn't even look like him at all.
I toss the book over the onto the lower floor.
Okay.
I need my book, or no?
You need the book. Yeah. The book goes and it spirals and flips and slams down on the floor below. It slams open to a random page that has some sort of strange pentagram looking type symbol. In the master bedroom, Quinn is trying to get Cam free. Cam, you start struggling, trying to get yourself out of there, and the two of you are trying to resist. When the book hits the floor, there is a shimmering and a movement on the walls, and those strange oily things start to slide. They go all the way down onto the floor, and then they start to coalesce into two figures, one on either side of the room, who start slowly walking towards the doorway to try to stop the two of you from leaving out of the door. What are you guys doing?
Cam?
Yeah, I'm a little busy here. I'm just.
Yeah, you manage to get your other arm free, start resting your ankles free, and you bound up out of the bed. You can see it, the writhing and the moving. It almost looks like hands moving underneath the sheets trying to grab up at you as you slide off of the bed, and the two of you are standing next to each other in the room as the two figures move in.
You just.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You were starting before I even broke. It's fine.
I'm gonna do,
that's a great ninja note right there.
Yeah. To delicately take the fire poker from Quinn and just see if I can cleave both of these figures with one broad swing.
Yeah. You do. You take the fire poker and it slams through the one, and you reverse it and strike through the other one. And there's as they move backwards, they slam against the wall. They seem to have physical form now as you knock these two guys away. In the light, they almost look like some sort of strange, bros, I think was the term we used earlier. You recognize them from somewhere, but you can't place where. But up near the attic still, Gabe, you watch as the book falls, slams onto the ground, and you look up. Now, you know that you could potentially still complete the ritual without the book if you're able to destroy someone who loves the person to be sacrificed.
All of this happened because you wouldn't play a game with me. I want to play catch! I want to throw Fiend into the room. I want to throw her hard enough to slam you both into the room.
That's fair.
I love everything about that. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. And he chucks Fiend. She slams into you, and the both of you go flying into the room, stumble across the floor. Fiend and Nat, you both see that this entire room is lit up. Looks like some sort of strange church or something up in here. Nat, you've seen this before, but Fiend, this is the first time you're seeing this. It definitely looks odd. It looks like it should not be up here. And as that happens, there's a strange miasma that forms across the door, and you see your friend Gabe step forward, and as he steps through the doorway of the room, his form shimmers and shifts, and he grows into that large horned figure as he steps into the room.
It's just us and this tiny, tiny room, Nat. How will you save her? I reach my hand for Nat's face.
Excellent.
As we're reaching, I turn and I stab upward with the knife.
Oh, excellent. This is the moment for the final confrontation tonight. What we need to do now is we need to determine how well all of you or the outsider have won these small little battles in the war for the soul of one of your party members. What we're going to do is we're going to form a dice pool between the party and the outsider, a final roll that will determine the outcome of this struggle. So, how we're going to do this is the family, or party members in this case, are going to roll a dice pool that is equal to the number of players, which is 5, plus the number of scenes that you successfully 1 against the outsider, which, according to my notes here, is 1, 2, 3. And then another d6 for any sort of secrets that you learned about the outsider and or their purpose here, which again, according to my notes, is 1. So those of you keeping track at home, that is 9d6 that you have to roll, adding up your numbers to try to beat a target number. The outsider is going to roll 3d6 plus a number of d6 equal to the number of scenes that you failed your rolls on, which is 2, which makes 5d6, plus the number of unrevealed outsider secrets, which in this case is 3, because they start with 4. So it is 9d6 for the group and 8d6 for the outsider. Who would like to roll this? You can split up the dice if you'd like. You could have, because there's multiple people, you could each roll a die and add it together, or you can have one of you make that fateful choice, which might sound like it falls on Kerri/Nat's shoulder here, so she's stabbing at the demon, but I'll leave that up to the group.
We're all just like,
I know you want to do it, Kerri. I know you want to do it. I'm okay with it.
Is Julian rolling for...
Oh, no, I will roll for the final, for the outsider.
Okay, then I want all of us to roll.
I love that.
I think one of us is only rolling 1 die, and the rest of us are rolling 2.
I'll roll a 1 because I got possessed.
There we go. That makes perfect sense to me. Yep. I do have the number that I rolled over here, and I'm going to add that up.
6 plus 8 is 14, plus 8 is 22, plus 11 is 33, plus 5 is 38.
And Nat, as you stab up with the knife, your feelings for Fiend are true in this moment as you stab up with the knife. And the knife stabs into the hand of the outsider. And in this moment, as you all roll a 38 and the outsider rolls a 32,
Oh my god!
there is a
No!
there is a bright, blinding light, much like the one that you saw when Quinn was out in the outhouse, that explodes throughout the room. There is a chilling cold that's matched with an icy heat that burns through the attic around all of you. You can see the candles in the candelabra begin to melt and pour and just fall off of the table, off of the altar. Over on the side table where the young woman was tied up, you can see that there is just blood that pools and streaks down the side. It bubbles in the heat up here. Down below, Cam, Quinn, you can see all the weird shadows on the wall start to quake and fall and melt away, revealing the heat. Revealing the wood down in beneath. Up in the attic, Gabe, you can feel yourself distant, starting to claw your way back towards your friends. In that moment, you can feel your hand raise up, not the one stabbed by the knife, but your other hand, and it reaches out towards your friends. There is light that streams out of that hand, Fiend and Nat. You can tell that it is your friend coming back to you. He reaches out for you. What do you guys do?
I reach back and grab him.
And Fiend, you reach up, your fingers interlock with his, and you can feel a strength, almost like you're pulling him out of something. And Gabe, you collapse next to Fiend and Nat on the attic floor, sweating. There is that cut on the side of your face. Probably will be a scar, but hey, that'll look great in an action movie someday. And the brightness of the attic just burns away. You can feel the roof start to cave in and start to kind of give away, and there is some connection that the two of you, Nat and Fiend, feel in the attic between the two of you in this moment. And you all know, both upstairs and down, that you got to get the hell out of this house right now, because this thing is coming down. And the front door flies open, much in the opposite direction as it did when it slammed shut when you all first arrived. And what does everybody do?
Run!
I think throwing, I don't know how, awake Gabe is really, but, throwing an arm, probably the knife still in the hand, I'm so fucking sorry. Don't take it out. Don't take it out.
I'm so sorry.
And then I'm just scared.
I thought I was the comedy relief guy in Until Dawn with the glasses. I turned out to be Rami Malek. I got got
so
by
glad
the
you're back.
monster.
It's okay. We just gotta get the fuck out of here.
I take his other arm and hold it over my shoulder.
Yeah, and all struggling together, all coming together. The three of you make your way down the stairs and start making it towards the front. Quinn, Cam, you guys.
Cam's holding the front door open just in case, and just beckoning everyone to come through.
Quinn ran out at the moment that it opened.
Yeah, first one out. I love it. And,
Freaking.
yeah, of course, yeah. And the five of you make your way out into the cold, cool night, and you make your way over to the car, and you just hurriedly get all together and get the hell out of here. As you start to drive away down the dark road that leads through the woods, it's pitch black out here. There is the sounds of the cabin behind you. I'm going to say that, Gabe, you look back through the window, you start to raise up your camera, and the last footage you're going to get is of this cabin collapsing in on itself and falling down to no longer be explored by unwitting, unknowing kids in the future. And the five of you have vanquished the outsider and have escaped with your souls. And this was It Wants Souls, everybody.
Woo!
We did it. That was awesome.
I'm so stressed right now.
As a last little bit, can I say one last thing?
Yes. If you want to all just take a moment real quick to go around, have a little epilogue of your characters and this little ride out. Absolutely.
I think Fiend is sitting bitch in the backseat between Gabe and Nat. And once like everyone's like stopped screaming and everything's settled down and we're kind of just like riding in our shocked, experience, I think Fiend's hand just kind of like slides over underneath Nat's and like locks their fingers together. Thanks.
One little shot of just like bloody hands.
fingers.
I love it.
As we get home, as we return, I think Gabe is going to pull Quinn and Cam aside and say, guys, I think I've had enough of being challenged and being scared. If you two would be down to star in a rom-com, I think the three of us could make a really good one.
Yeah. Maybe we should get stitches for your face first. I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's okay. Listen, we're all here, we're all alive, and we're gonna play a beautiful rom-com with Joan Jett playing in the background. It'll be great.
Oh yes, that sounds like a masterpiece. I'll start writing my Oscar speech now.
Cam is a little less shaken because he's kind of taking it all in, and it's like, well, we'll be out of the way. And he just kind of holds up the fire poker souvenir.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love it. And what is the last moment that Nat has in this scene as we ride out?
Everyone kind of like falls quiet again, and we're like getting close to, civilization again, probably heading towards a hospital. But, and then I think we see Natalie kind of like look over and reach into her pocket and just pull out the folded up paper of the drawing to kind of like open it up and I guess see if it's the same as she remembers, getting further and further away from the house.
And as you pull away and you look at the paper, you find that after a time it is blank. And this memory is belonging to the five of you and the five of you alone.
Then in that case, I think the final scene is like exterior of the car. You see the window roll down and you see the wadded up piece of paper fly out the window. Okay, so this has been the Crossroads Chronicles, and I'm too stressed out to say anything else, so Please, everyone, tell us who you are and where everyone can find you on the interwebs. Whoever wants to go first.
Kevin, kick us off.
All right, yes, I am Kevin. I was the game master this evening and got to have fun with these great people. I can be found online at Kev Ran Games and episode 12 of Kerri's Crossroads event that she did, and also on the Game Night Heroes podcast where I tell really cool stories like this. In fact, we did an episode where we played this type of game with a very different outcome. So come check that out. This was so much fun. Thank you all very much for having me. This was a blast. Thank you so very much. Oh, am I calling it back?
Pass
now?
it, Kevin. Pass it.
All right, we're gonna pass to my man Gabe then.
Hi, my name is Julian, or Julie CL, JULICIEL on the social medias. I stream on Twitch, where I mostly do D&D games. You can catch me playing on the Free Forge's weekly Kids on Bikes game every Friday. And if you want to listen to some of my own writing, I am the co-creator and co-writer of the award-winning audio series The Realm Tree, a story of how fairies get their wings, featuring voice actors including folks like Michaela Jill Murphy, who was Toph Beifong in Avatar The Last Airbender. Also folks from Genshin Impact and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You can listen to that on your next commute, because it's a podcast. And I'll pass it over to our dear Josefina.
Hi, I'm kicking my chair. Hold on. Hi, I'm Allegra. I'm usually over at a Mayday Roleplay where we have a podcast, an awards-winning podcast. Now is what we're supposed to say because we've won awards. It's very cool. Where we're playing Delta Green. You can also catch us on stream every other Saturday playing Vampire the Masquerade. We're all big drama bitches and it's great. You can also hear me in other audio dramas. Also, I am in a really fun spooky one right now, perfect for the season. It's called The Hollow Medium. It's about a woman in the 1920s who is being haunted by someone in her past. It's very fun. It's very cool. It's very immersive. You can follow me on Twitter at Lego M2RS, the number 2. Yeah, I'm around. I love playing games. I love all these folks. This was a blast.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Chrissy. You can find me most online places as Chrissy in Color. And as for what I'm doing, I don't know when this is airing, so there's really no telling what I'll be doing by then. But as a general rule, right now I am playing with 12-sided stories. We're currently airing on Mondays. This quick moment, we're going through some Delta Green. It's real fun. And I also play with our lovely Matt here in the Aetherlog podcast, where I get to play my necromancy bard Octavia. She is a real dommy mommy. This will be the only time you ever get to see me play a dommy mommy successfully, and it's only because Sam can't throw me off whenever I try to do it. If I try to do it with anyone else, they could probably throw me off my game because I don't have any. Oh god, you see me on Kerri's channel. Sometimes you might see me more, hopefully. And oh god, what else am I playing in right now? I bounce around a lot. There's really no telling. And yeah, so just follow my Twitter, Chrissy in Color, and enjoy the dirty jokes while you're there. And yeah, Matt, why don't you talk some for us?
I got you, sure. Hi, I'm Matt. As Chrissy mentioned, I play Gale in the Aetherlog. He's a snake-type monk, and it's really fun. The dynamic's fantastic. I make nerdy t-shirts with the popular company Gemmed Firefly, which I happen to own. And I also make lo-fi music. If you look up Dungeon Glitch, anywhere you listen to music, you will find it. This is my first horror game. Holy smokes. Oh. You're all awesome. This was so fun. I guess I'm an award-winning D&D content maker, I guess. Since we're talking about that too.
I feel underqualified to be here now. You guys are all amazing. I love this.
You can find it on the DM's Guild if you look up Jump Firefly or my name.
And I guess I should, sign off. I am Kerri Smith. You are on my channel. And you can find me at Kerri Smith 2012 on Twitter, where I ramble about all kinds of shit. The end.
There we go. Yeah, please wind down. Careful in the outhouses out there.
Julian, I'm sorry I stabbed you.
I'm sorry I did everything. What are you talking about?
It was so good though.
It was perfect.
I can't wait to watch that reveal back. Like, that was
gonna be good.
so fucking good.
My brain is just like, what's the segue to prove I'm the monster? What do you like? Do you like games?
I love it.
What?
I love it.
That like drilled into my head so slowly. I was like, wait.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
so
I-
good. Good
Thanks,
night,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you, Carrie.
Bye
Appreciate
for
it.
now.
Thank you, Kevin.
Guys, this is wonderful.